Welcome to Talking Science Interviews. Matt Miller with you in studio for today, wrapping up the very successful 11th Australian Space Forum. Mr. Michael Davies is here with me to chat about that on the other side of the open.
On Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts and YouTube for over 550 episodes. This is Talkin' Science.
Michael, thanks for a little bit of your time on this Easter weekend here at Trek Zone. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about the Australian Space Forum, the 11th one now, bigger and better in 2021?
Well, that's right. It started 5 years ago. We've done it twice a year since 2016. It was an initiative of the South Australian government, and it was specifically inspired by the fact that South Australia and Adelaide was due to host the International Astronautical Congress in 2017. So it was a lead up to the IAC and a way of bringing together the fairly disparate Australian space community at the time. And so we started, I recall the first forum had about 50 participants, and it's grown to about 700. The other significant thing about the latest forum was that the Andy Thomas Space Foundation, and I'm the chair of the board of that foundation, we were appointed by the South government to take over the running of the forum recently. So this was our first attempt to run the forum in our own name. And fortunately, in spite of all the risks associated with any live event these days, it was very successful.
It was incredible, and I was really hoping to get down there. I had my press credentials ready to go. Unfortunately, being in Brisbane with what happened over the last week, everything was locked down, and I was locked out of the conference. But watching it virtually was absolutely fantastic. And I think part of what everyone has to do now, holding a live event, holding a conference, add that virtual component in, so anyone can beam in and catch up on these events. Some fantastic panels, some amazing booths around the place from what I saw. With the Australian space industry, the space agency, having been formed now, has that changed the way the forum operates and its sort of goals?
Yes, we are very close to the Australian Space Agency. We see ourselves as supporting what they call their Inspire pillar. That is that space is for everyone, and it has the potential to inspire, especially young people, to think about careers in STEM related fields, and perhaps even one day working in some space role. So the short answer is yes. We try to we work closely with the agency in preparing the content of the forum. We always have speakers from the space agency, and they give us a lot of advice on topics and experts to invite.
And some pretty cool openings at this year's forum this week. The Space Discovery Centre in Adelaide, Lot 14, really developing and pushing forward. Mission Control from Sabre Astronautics also opening as well. Some great news coming out. Southern Launch with their Kunuba test range, or their launch range now. So plenty of excitement to be happening and plenty more for the Space Forum to sink its teeth into. Are we going to see another one this year, or will it be next year?
This year, yes, in 6 months' time. We're looking at September, and fingers crossed, it will be available both, face-to-face and online. And I agree with you. The online component of any conference these days is very, very important. And it also allows people who can't travel, obviously, to ask questions, participate, and one of my jobs was to moderate the questions, and it was fantastic to see so many intelligent questions coming in from the online audience. So it's that will always be a big part of the event, I'm sure.
Well, fingers crossed in 6 months' time, Brisbane doesn't have another lockdown and I can get down to Adelaide and catch the 12th Australian Space Forum. Michael, thanks for a little bit of your time this Easter weekend. Really looking forward to it. Congratulations on the Space Forum that was just held, and we'll catch you for the 12th one in September.
Thanks very much, Matt.
Keep up to date with Twitter. Catch new podcasts daily on YouTube. Plus, we're beaming to your favourite podcast app 5 days a week. Just search for Trek Zone and subscribe.